Hello, pickleballers. Welcome to the new and improved DDOG Pickleball Podcast V2. I've been thinking about it for a while now, and I really want to give the podcast a fresh start. I feel like it went a lot of different directions, and now it's going to kind of have one to two directions that it's more focused on, really emphasizing kind of the paddle side of things as well as interviewing some of the movers and shakers on the business and club side of things. That's my personal bread and butter and what I enjoy doing the most. Pun intended right there, by the way. Shout out Doug from Bread and Butter. Guys, hilarious on a side note there. But yeah, so I just really been thinking of it and I'm going to kind of refresh the pod to this. So here we are. I will say I do plan on keeping as many of the interviews as possible. I'm going to scrap them into a newer format, but going forward, yeah, it's going to be the V2 pod from now on, the D-Dog Pickleball Podcast V2. Real quick there. Anyways, got a lot to talk about today. To give you guys a little bit of an outline, we're going to talk about Slayer Pickleball sent me some paddles. I'm going to talk about one more gearbox paddle I was sent that's been out for a little while, but I didn't get a lot of time on it until recently, these past few weeks, and I'll mention that a little bit more. We've got a little apparel we were sent as well, and really just my kind of plans for, the spring, and then kind of diving into any other news and some Q&A. All right. Hope you guys enjoy the pod. All right. So let's do this. So first and foremost, Slayer Pickleball. If you haven't heard of them, this is Slayer Pickleball. I have right here, I have the Octane EXP1, and then I have the Oddball XPI Pro. I was not sent spec sheets, nothing from this. I'm still talking with them about a lot of this, but from what I know, this is a 3K Kevlar 16 millimeter elongated paddle, and this is a 3K Kevlar 14 millimeter paddle. I got to hit both today for the first time. They just came in the mail yesterday, along with my current main, the Carbon True Foam 2X. And I actually really liked both of these. I really liked the 14 millimeter hybrid a little more. I added this weight after because I just felt like playing them stock for the session I played them and wanted to see how they did. And they did pretty well stock. Both of these paddles are perfectly fine playable stock. I just feel like the lead in the bottom corners kind of into the face here a little really opens up sweet spots for most paddles, and it's an easy place to put weight for me. So I just put 2-3 inches of 1 gram lead strips here. I would do the same to the elongated, but it's a little bit on the higher swing weight side. So to be honest, I might keep playing the stock. And I got to say, Slayer, you guys make one heck of an undergrip because these things are awesome. I didn't even need to put an overgrip on. And I normally put an overgrip on everything. I didn't even need to put an overgrip on. These undergrips feel incredible. I sweat like the Dickens today while playing, and undergrips stayed dry. They stayed, relatively tack, like undergrip tack, and they felt great. So I know this was quick, but again, it's more of a first impression than a review per se. But Slayer Pickleball, check them out. I plan on reviewing both of these, so definitely stay tuned on that front. Let's dive real quick here into Gearbox. This is the Pro Ultimate Hyper, the 16. I got sent this along with when I got sent my GX2s, and I've been really enjoying it. For a while, I liked the Hyper more than the GX2s, but eventually I ended up kind of being 50-50 between this and the GX2 Hyper, leaning the GX2 Hyper a little more just because I like that edge-guarded feeling, and I felt like it had a bigger sweet spot. This definitely hits harder than the GX2s, though. Here, let me just put that there for a second so you guys can see it. But let's see if that'll stand. Will you stand? Yes. Sweet. All right. So this definitely hits harder. I would put this as not like Pro Ultimate 14 millimeter elongated type of power hard, but I would put this in like carbon true foam 2X kind of level of hard. Some Gen 3s hard, but not by no means the high end elongated ones. I really love this gearbox hyper shape, by the way. It's super aerodynamic, feels great. I really like this paddle. I still haven't really decided yet if I'm going to review the hyper or not, but I'll definitely talk about it here on the pod, and we'll see from there as I get more time on it. But I've been enjoying it a lot. And yeah, those are just kind of my honest thoughts. I will say at times I do feel like I miss a little long with this, and that's just because of the kind of power behind it that I might not be as used to as I am with my trusty carbon and the GX2 and some other stuff, but it's really not that much more and it's really not that much long. So yeah, I liked this. I added lead in kind of 4 to 5 inches in the bottom corners into the throat here. And I found that really kind of opened up the sweet spot for me. And so yeah, Gearbox Ultimate Hyper. I did want to touch on that real quick. Gearbox also sent me these awesome socks. I did hit in all three, and then I also kind of just tried them out as regular wear around socks. So first off, this is awesome. Okay. This is pretty awesome of a sock in general. So shout out to Gearbox for that. I love them. Here's my only thing. I wouldn't play in them personally just because they're more on the cotton side. And I kind of like that athletic sock feeling. I usually play in, I got a couple pairs of Nike socks that I really like playing in that are a little cushioned as well. And these are more just kind of a cushiony, kind of an everyday. Like they remind me a lot of like the generic Nike dry fit high socks with just kind of better design. Um, but yeah, I also really like that each sock has a different design on them for the Gearbox socks. I thought that was really cool. So if you guys are like big Gearbox fans or something like that, and you're looking for some socks, definitely give these a try. I was a fan. I really, really especially like, come on, guys, this is awesome. We need better pickleball apparel in general out there, and I think it's great that the paddle companies are also diving into that as well. So I did want to mention that. I did also want to mention, I had someone asking me a while back what kind of stuff I'm filming on for what. So I'm currently on my camera, which I normally film on. It is the ZV-E10 Mark II. Absolutely love the thing. It's been marvelous to me for the probably 4 months I've had it now, 4 or 5 months. I also film on 2 GoPros normally for kind of B-roll when I'm hitting, just because I find it's way easier to bring GoPros on court than the camera. Sometimes I'll bring the camera, but usually it's the GoPros, and this is a GoPro Hero 11. I also have a GoPro Hero 10 over here. The only reason the battery's not in there right now is because I'm actually uploading some gameplay film at the moment. So, with that being said, really enjoy those as well. They're really easy to bring around. I just pop them on a tripod. There you go. Simple as that. I used to film on my phone a decent amount. I don't really love the whole iCloud, AirDrop, all that thing. It's just a pain in the butt to me. I'd rather just plug it in, upload it, and be done with it, quite frankly. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing in terms of film stuff. In terms of photo, I do photo with the camera as well. I have a bunch of different stuff for that, and not to really dive too far into the weeds of that to keep this pickleball. I'll leave that at that. In terms of kind of what's next, I'd say for me is I'm definitely looking forward to doing kind of more of these interviews with some of the movers and shakers. I know that we have a pickler opening up in this area, the first pickler, I might add, to my knowledge, in the New England area. So that's awesome. Huge chain coming to Massachusetts in particular, but to New England, I think that's great. I hope to see more picklers here as well. So I'm excited. I've been emailing with them a little, and I do plan on going to that opening. So I will share that with you guys when I do the video for it. With that being said, I also have some interviews coming up. with some other club owners and people in the club space. And I'm definitely looking forward to getting out there and playing some, competitive ball again, playing some tournaments, as well as I am planning on doing some teaching into the summer again. So that'll be exciting to put my coaching hat back on and really get back out there on the coaching side of things. I might share some video of that as well. If that's something that would interest you guys, just let me know in the comments. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited for that. I think I think they'll probably be kind of 4.0, 4.5-ish level. I might start with one or two kind of 4.0 to 4.5 or 4.0 and overs and then push for the 4.5 stuff. It's really tricky in this area because I feel like the levels aren't really as true as they should be in tournaments a lot of the time. So I feel like, so for example, I've played in a 4.0 tournament here where I played someone with a 5.0 duper and I played someone with a 3.5 duper. It's a very wild kind of range level pool. I feel like usually the 4.0s here aren't really as wildly vast. I feel like once we get into the 4.5 territory here, just because there's not many true just 5.0 tournaments in the Massachusetts area, in particular in New England these days, it's usually a 4.5 plus is really like a 5.5 tournament if you are kind of going the distance per se. And usually someone with a 4.5 or like a 4.75 right on the dot is usually in pool play and then out of there losing in early rounds. And so it makes for a really interesting tournament scene. But I enjoy both those levels. And, I feel like I could do well in either on a given day with, my partners and playing good ball. So I'm really excited for that. I would also love to get some MLP minor league going again. Gonna shout out my team, the Daredevils here. The Daredevils, sorry, Daredevils. You guys can correct me in the comments on that one. But yeah, that was super fun. I'd love to do that again. I also love to do it with my other teams as well. There's been a few of them, so forgive me for not knowing the names. I think it was just Dill with it. Um, and then like Dink Smash, something like that. But yeah, so um, super excited to do that. Super fun to get back out there. Looking forward to some tournaments. Definitely kind of more on the late spring to early summer to late summer side, just of how the schedule is and how my schedule is. But yeah, and then I'm looking forward to reviewing some paddles as well and just bringing you guys all the pickleball news I can. So, anyways, kind of a short, kind of informal pod today, but let me know what you think. And I look forward to seeing you guys out there on the courts. Adios. Oh, before I go real quick as well, I did send away the Carbon 1X to our giveaway winner, and I look forward to hearing from him when he receives it, how he likes it. So, all right. Adios.